He had the coronavirus for 15 seconds. Woo! Yes, 15 seconds. Oh my God.
A lot of people keep putting God in the middle of this pandemic that we're in, these viruses.
He back called back with another comment. What is happening today? Oh my goodness.
Letting people think that God is taking care of
What is happening today?
others, which is in Mark, I'm sorry, in Acts 10. I don't have time for Bible study. I gotta go. I appreciate your call. You bet. People want to have Bible study today. It's not even Wednesday.
Oh my goodness. Woo. What did I do with all my stories? I had a whole slew of stories. Where did I send them? Here's some of them. Oh my goodness. Good afternoon, everyone. Huh? No. Oh my goodness. There is nothing good in the news. I mean, of course, there are a lot of stories, but there's like no good news that I can really find. Oh boy. He had the coronavirus for 15 seconds. Oh boy. That's funny. I don't know why that is so funny to me. It's possible. It's possible that he just had it for a few seconds. Who am I to dismiss that? Oh boy. Oh boy. And for whatever reason, there's a lot of coronavirus news in the news today. Oh boy. Is COVID running through the buzz? No. Unless you consider it running through Lincoln, running through the buzz. Lincoln has it. Or had it, or whatever. No, my cough is like, I guess, the remnants of COVID from a year ago. Yes, it was almost a year ago. I mean, I still, like, it happened the very end of January last year. So yeah, my cough is slight, intermittent, and a remnant of a year ago. But again, I do have to go get tested. I'm gonna try to find me a place to get tested today. Oh. My hand sanitizer. No, the little baby has 0 symptoms. And again, she swears she ain't sick. So. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. We are going to talk about stuff. We're going to talk about stuff. Exactly what stuff? We'll see. We'll see. On the other side of the glass, Raven Mundy.
Hello.
And she's your favorite millennial. And, you know, she may or may not help me talk about stuff. She may or may not. You know, I don't force her. I don't force her to get on the air with me.
Yes, you do. I'm your puppet, remember?
If it's interesting to her, then she'll say something. And if not, then she won't. So that's that. Here in Cincinnati, CPS board says that they will remain in person now despite staff shortages. Yeah, it was proposed by the interim superintendent to go remote. January 6th through the 18th. It was proposed. Hey, look, we got a lot of people out sick. Just staff shortages all over the place. This Omicron. I don't know why people keep calling it Omnicron. I mean, you know, people make mistakes. I keep wanting to call it Omarion, so I can understand people mispronouncing, but Omnicron? But this Omicron is spreading like wildfire. So the kids are getting it. The teachers are getting it. The other staff, they're getting it. It kind of makes sense that they might not do in-person learning. I think it was a wise proposal. I know a lot of people, a lot of parents, because me, I don't care. In-person learning didn't bother me even a little bit, but I don't have a kid that's going through it. So for those of us who don't have children, maybe we just don't have a say. But it seems to me reasonable that if you have staff shortages and you have a rapidly spreading, extremely contagious virus, even though it's mild apparently, you still might want to keep the kids at home for a little bit. But they said no. They said we'll keep watching the data and, you know, give us a week. We'll revisit the recommendation. They said we are seeing increases in staff absences. We're committed to not making decisions too quickly on that, but on watching on a school by school basis, making decisions individually. That's what newly elected board president Brent Lindy had to say. I think remote learning might not be about. The parents that I've talked to don't like it. And a few of the teachers that I've talked to don't like it. A few of the teachers that I've talked to don't like it. Most of the parents that I've talked to don't like it. I always just work under the assumption for the parents who don't like it. You know why? Because now you got to be responsible for your kids during that time of the day. Oh, but what about the ones that are working? And it might be a little bit of a hardship for some. It might be a little bit of a hardship for some. But if you're working from home anyway, your kid be home, you home, I think the problem that you probably have with it is you're responsible for your kid's education to a degree.
And we saw how much people struggled the first time around.
And still don't appreciate teachers. Still don't appreciate what teachers have to go through. You got your kid, maybe two. They got like 30. 30 of them just like yours. Might not be paying no attention. Oh, but the kids have short attention spans. They have short attention spans in person too. It's not like just because they go to the school building, their attention span expands. Or elongates, I'm not sure which. It's not like that happens. But oh no, I don't want to. No, don't send my kids to school and let them learn. That's the teacher's job. Sorta. But it's sort of your job too. It's your job too. And just think about this. They're having shortages. My understanding is there are a number of the staff that are out. They're having trouble getting substitutes. Not that substitutes get the respect that they deserve. I know I never respected substitutes when I was in school. Never respected substitutes. Because, you know, they were substitutes. They were substitutes. You're not the real teacher. You're just here. You're just here.
When I was in school, substitute teachers being there, it was kind of like a vacation from quote unquote real school. Like we wasn't really expected to do much of nothing. We might have had like maybe a worksheet to do, but outside of that, you really didn't get that much respect that our regular teacher got, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like we loved substitute days because it basically was like coming to school and not really having to do nothing.
And again, my understanding is they are having some issues getting substitutes. So what do you do? When staff and teacher absences go up and you can't find nobody to do the substitute, to be the substitute, and send them kids home. Let them kids stay at home and do home learning, distance learning, whatever they call it. And then parents, it just ends up being your responsibility. Believe it or not, you got to step up and participate in the education of your child or children. And that sounds reasonable to me. I hope that CPS really does truly look at it and reconsider the decision that they made, just because it seems to make sense with everything that's going on. With everything that's going on. But I mean, they say, you know, they don't want to move too quickly. It's one thing to not want to move too quickly. It's another thing to move too slowly. It's another thing to move too slowly. 513-749-1230. Also here in Cincinnati. You know, I got to talk about it just a little bit, even though it breaks my heart. Breaks my heart to talk about it. The parents of the child who was killed, the five-month-old, if I recall correctly, they've been indicted for his murder. And Joe Dieter says, this is from Local 12. Joe Dieter said a second child who was in their care is in ICU. In ICU. If they're convicted on all charges, Dante Ferrier and Shakayla Sams could face life in prison. Life in prison. 19. You're 19, staring down the barrel of life in prison. Because you didn't take care of your child. And there were some people, also there's a second child involved in this situation. There's a second child, 2-year-old. Sir Major Sams, currently in ICU. According to the story, Sir is malnourished, had a lacerated pancreas, in addition to other past and recent injuries. How do you take a 2-year-old and do something that lacerates their pancreas? And you just imagine for a minute. You have a lacerated pancreas. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Biology was not my strong point. I don't know where the pancreas is in the body. I know it's somewhere in here. Somewhere here.
As you rub your entire body.
It's somewhere. And but imagine lacerating your pancreas and then just having to walk around like it's all good. Imagine the pain that you have to be in to be walking around with a lacerated pancreas. A lacerated anything. Imagine the pain. And this is a 2-year-old. These are 2-year-olds. These are little people who. You seen a 2-year-old with a tummy ache? You ever seen a 2-year-old with a tummy ache? Just a regular run-of-the-mill tummy ache. They are miserable. Miserable. You ever seen a 2-year-old whose teeth hurt? They are miserable.
Have you ever seen a child with an earache? They're miserable.
Miserable. And then you imagine a 2-year-old with a lacerated pancreas. That's just horrible. And then, like they say that that's among other injuries and previous injuries. Because, you can see signs of other injuries. That is horrible. Look, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what the story is. Because there is always a backstory. There's always a backstory. I don't know what the backstory is. And I care. See, I'm not one of these. Oh, you hurt a kid, so I want to know. I want to have some sympathy for these people. And I know people, don't be mad at me yet. At least let me get it out before you get all the way mad at me. Okay, let me get a break. I'm going to get a break, and then I'm going to get it all the way out. And then you can be as mad at me as you want. But I don't necessarily think that a lack of sympathy is the best course of action, okay? But I'll get into all of that when I come back. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
All the news and information you need is just a click away at thebuzzcincy.com. Just go to thebuzzcincy.com to get the latest on world events, national news, and everything happening right here in the
Phyllis said, sad for the beautiful baby, but I like to believe God wanted his little angel back. That's beautiful. It's probably not accurate, but it's beautiful. My understanding is people aren't angels. Angels are a totally different type of being based on, if you believe the Bible and different things that we've been taught. But
They're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
I still want the backstory. Oh, Tony, Candy D, Maria, Erica, Robert, and Butler over on the YouTube page. Good afternoon. I'm not going to be able to go through all the comments on the Facebook page. Nikki, Jeannie, Anthony, Cedric, Samuel, Sabrina, McConnell, Victoria, Cedric, Phyllis, Kenny, Lady K, Jack, Tria. Oh, keep scrolling. Doc Foster, Jerica, Benita, Will, Brendan. I think I said Lady K, but I'm not sure. Brenda, Glenn, Phyllis, Nat, Elijah. That's all the comments that'll fit right now. Jerica says, I wish we left our personal perspective regarding religion and spirituality when trying to debunk the perspective of others. Your relationship with the Creator is your relationship, and your beliefs are your beliefs. That's why I said, if you believe what we've been taught in the Bible. Because if you don't, then you did not agree with me. But if you don't want your religious, whatever debunked, don't tell them to people. How about that? It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. 513-749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Talking about these parents indicted on murder charges for the death of this child, and there's another child, a 2-year-old, who also is in ICU with some other injuries. And I want to know, how does one get here? I really do. I want to hear their story. I want to know how you got here. I'm not just jumping to the conclusion. I'm not just jumping to the conclusion that the man beat the child. I'm not doing that. I don't know who did what, and I don't know why. I know it was bad and wrong, and it hurts my heart. But again, I keep saying this, and y'all want to keep, some people keep saying, I make everything racial. But can I just say, everybody can have sympathy for a woman who leaves her child in the backseat of a hot car because she went to get donuts and forgot about the kid. She was so excited about the donuts, she forgot that she had a kid in the backseat. And the kid, I'm going to use the term literally, the kid literally baked in the car. And people we're not going to charge her. Or what more can we do to her? What more? Look at what she's going through. Look at the things that she's dealing with. People can have sympathy for everybody, no matter the situation. Everybody can get sympathy. Well, sometimes, I guess, unless you're young and African American. Now, I'm not saying let them off. I'm not saying that at all. But They're not animals. They're people who did horrible things, presumably. It don't mean you're cool with it, like, oh, you hurt that child and we understand and there's nothing else that we can do to harm you. No, I'm not saying that. I mean, every time that an update to this story comes out, there are going to be people who want to paint these people like animals. I've heard the term animals. I've heard the term animals thrown out with regard to these people kind of left and right. And then somebody even suggested, no, they're not animals because animals don't do that. I'm like, come on, y'all. They're bad. But if they did what we believe they did, the way that we believe that they did it, they were bad people. They were bad people. And you can say that they were bad people and still understand that, you know, we have a system, and I'm not just talking about the justice system. I'm talking about the media, the way that people are portrayed in the media, the way that the story was spun. What was the girl's name who had the baby and buried the baby in the backyard?
I can't remember her name, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
There's a way that they can spin a story to create a situation where you feel sympathy for the person no matter what they did. No, Skylar Richardson. No matter what they did. Like even just the way that they say it. When they were talking about that story, they didn't say, well, she buried that baby alive in the backyard, dug a hole, and that baby was alive and breathing, and she just threw dirt on top of that baby while it was crying in the hole. And they didn't do all of that. They put the story out there in a way that you understood that what happened was bad, but they didn't paint her as an animal. She was desperate. She was young. She didn't know any better. She was scared and she was, all of that kind of stuff. They painted that, the media I'm talking about, painted that picture of her, even while she was being prosecuted. They painted that picture of her. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, not that what they did was good, but, we don't have to be as horrible to them as they want us to be to prove that we can be horrible. Because they ain't never trying to prove to us that they can be horrible. Oh, these people they don't do that for us. They give them sympathy. They try to understand and learn from whatever these people went through, which is why I want to hear the story. I want to hear what happened. I want to know what happened in your life, what maybe happened in your childhood, what maybe happened on those days that pushed you to that point. That's what I want to know. And then maybe somebody else can learn from that. But look, I notice this stuff. I'm sorry that I notice it. Sometimes it frustrates me to notice it. And I'm not telling you personally you have to have sympathy for them. But I want the stories covered the same. If the media, the people in the media can have sympathy for somebody who kills a baby and can express it and can report it in such a way that you understand that maybe this isn't who they are. Maybe this was just a bad decision. Maybe all of these maybes, Because they can do it. We've seen it. We've heard it. They have the ability to do it. Even just the way the anchors read the headlines. You can hear the sympathy in their voices. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Report it all the same. And then you don't jump on the horrible side because they black. All right, 513-749-1230. Jay Blade. Hold on. I'm going to get you guys in. 513-749-1230. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
Get ready for the Urban One.
Tay says, I don't care about the color in cases with kids like this. They abuse the kids that cause the death of one. Sympathy out the door. All right. All right. Someone says your hair and your shirt matching today. All right. Well, y'all can't shame me about the color of my hair. I will not be gray hair shamed. I won't do it. No. This is the color that it pops out of my head. So this is the color that it is. If you got a problem with it, not to I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact wording. But to put my religious beliefs on nobody else. But if you got a problem with it, Jesus is on the main line. You can call him up and tell him what you want. And tell him you want the King of Talk's hair to be back black. And, maybe that's what he'll do. No, that's what I said. I'm not going to do it. But if they want Jesus to do it, hey, you never know. You never know. It ain't going to be no Beijing, I'm telling you. It ain't going to be no Beijing. It's going to be because God decided that he didn't want my hair gray no more. Either that or I got a role in some movie where they paying me to dye my hair black. Because they want me to play a teenager. They want me to play a big, fat, gray-hair teenager. Oh. Oh, boy. Kamikia says, locking away monsters and throwing away the key without regard for how those people came to be that way is not working as a deterrent. Yeah, I know. It really is. It's like at least for me, I kind of can't help it. I hear you hurt a kid, and automatically I think you're a horrible human, and we don't need you in society. Automatically. But then I try to think about it a little more, because that's just a reaction. You hurt a kid. It's just a reaction. It's the international symbol sign for reaction, in case you didn't know that. It's a reaction. But I try to think about it. Not to excuse it. Minutes till the top of the hour. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. And just talked a little bit about the parents indicted on murder charges for that baby's death and for harming a 2-year-old. I don't get either of those. I don't know how it happens. I don't know what goes through the mind of a person that will allow them to hurt a child. I don't. And let me be honest. Maybe if you say, let me get it all out first, okay? Maybe if you say, something happened, I was stressed out, and I don't know what happened. I snapped and I did something. I might be able to understand that. Not saying that excuses it, but I might be able to understand that. But the injuries that they talked about with this 5-month-old, the injuries that they talked about, this isn't I had a stressful day and everything was coming at me at once and I snapped. You don't get multiple injuries over time where some have healed and others aren't, and malnourishment, ruptured spleen, dislocated neck, swollen brain, old and new fractured ribs. You don't get that from the day was just going wild and something happened. And it does make me, and I'm not placing blame, but it does make me wonder, where was the grandmama? Where was the, I know something, what about the grandfather? Hold on. It makes me wonder, where was the grandmama? Like, I know when my child was born, mama used to call and be like, everything all right? Y'all need some help? Y'all need anything? So on and so forth. There was always somebody, like, no part of me believes that I could have or we could have done anything to our child without somebody in my family intervening. Because somebody was going to see the baby. And somebody was going to notice something. So where was the support system? It's a question, because I don't know. But these are the things that I think about when I see this. That's why it's not always just they're animals, they're monsters. Lock them up, throw away the key, and forget about it. If you feel that way, you feel that way. But there are other questions that I'm always asking, and I'm wondering, where are the people to help? If you are 19 with a 2-year-old and a 5-month-old. You're 19. There's some things you just don't know. There are some things you just don't know at 19. And there are some things that you're going to need help with. That sounds like that could be a 2-year-old and a 5-month-old. That could be an overwhelming situation. And the idea of just some of us just take our kids and we seem to believe that you got a kid, you raise that kid until they're 18, and then they know everything they're supposed to know from here on out, and you're out. Bye. You don't need no help. Don't call me for no help. I can't help you. I ain't got no advice for you. You know what I did with you? Now you take that and you replicate it and you do it with yours. If you need help, then that's your shortcoming. And I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That's not necessarily the best policy. The best way to take young people and help them become ready for real. Look, at 40, hold on, I got to start right around Raven's age. At 30.
I am not 30.
I said around. At 40, at 50, you still figuring stuff out. Some stuff you 50 years old and you still like, what does it say, like the post? I was today years old when I found out. And you 50. So how you expect a 18-year-old to have all the answers?
But that comes from a sense of, and I feel like I got this a lot from a lot of my peers. Not particularly me, because I still live at home and all that, but I've gotten from a lot of my peers that, like, not that their parents didn't love them or care about them, but at 18, you are no longer a financial responsibility for me. And so therefore, I need you to figure out how to go pay for your own self. You need to go figure out how to pay for your own needs and stuff like that. But what comes with that is, okay, now I'm fully responsible financially for my own self. I've never really had a job, never really was responsible for my own money, because every time I got money, you kept it. So like you've not equipped me with the correct skills to be able to do what you think I should be able to do. And now I'm out here in the world. I'm out here experimenting with my sexuality, and so I'm engaging in sexual activity, casual sex with people. Now I'm pregnant, or now I done got somebody pregnant. What do I do now? I don't even know where to start when it comes to paying and financing for a child. I just got off of your list of bills, and I just was learning how to be my own bill. Now I'm my own bill, and I got a kid on the way, so I got to figure out how to do that. Like, it's not. I think a lot of people feel like, and I don't know why this is, but a lot of people feel like as soon as a girl get pregnant, she's supposed to know everything there is to know about motherhood. She's supposed to know everything there is to know about budgeting and saving and knowing how to deal with a colicky baby. Like, a lot of these young girls, they're not even emotionally ready to be a parent. And so now I'm dealing with a child who don't stop crying. I done fed him, I done changed him, I done did this, I done did that. I done did everything my mom and my daddy taught me how to do, and I still don't know how to deal with this child. And so a lot of times it becomes a mental health issue. Now I'm resentful of this child because I didn't even get to enjoy my youth, because now you're here and you're taking that from me, and now I'm struggling just like my mama struggled, because that's all I know now. Like, I feel like my life is robbed, and it's a cycle, because your mama felt like that when you got here. Now you feel like that when your child got here, and it's a cycle. It goes over and over and over again until you end up in situations like this where I'm just mentally unprepared to take care of a child. And not only am I mentally unprepared, I'm now extremely resentful that you even exist, because you're making my life so much harder. Not a far stretch from becoming abusive towards that child if you already resent that child for even existing.
I just know when I look at stuff like this, and I guess that's the whole point that I'm making by saying all of this stuff. It's not just cut and dry. They're monsters. They're animals. There are things that go into it, and communities, because this ain't just a black thing. It's not. Communities have to think more about what we're doing with young people, how we're putting them into the world, what are they equipped with? Because they're not going to be equipped with everything. And the fact that they're going to need us as a community to step in and help. And that is why I wonder, where were grandparents or aunts or uncles or, I don't know, siblings, good friends, any of that kind of stuff. And not knowing the situation between the mother and the young man who was there. I don't know if that was his child or those were his children. I don't know their situation. Was it an abusive situation? I don't know. But I'd like to know all of that before I just pass judgment and say these are the worst people on the planet. I guess that's what I'm saying. All right, and I know I said I was going to the phones. So Marla and Blade, I will come to you when I come back. It's the afternoon experience. I'll be right back.
In case you missed the Russ Parr Morning Show, here's what you missed. Yeah, who's this?
Oh, man, my name.
All right, now let me see if I can get this, if I can get my picture-in-picture together. Go here, go here. We're gonna use the upstream keyer. We're gonna put camera 2 in. We're gonna turn it on real quick. Turn that off. Turn that on. All right, now we need to adjust the size. I'm looking at it. I don't have my regular monitor, so I have to look at it delayed. So I have to do what I do, wait for it to do it, and then make the adjustment if I made the right adjustment. And I know I can see that it's me in there, but I did something, so I have to redo that. Just all right, I can make that just a little bigger. Maybe that'll be good enough. I have to wait for it to take. Okay, I think I can live with that. I am actually going to move it over just a little bit. Got to wait for it to take. All right, and then, hold on. So let's go here. We're going to set that there. And then go here and put that there.
So when you say you won't move until everyone's buckled up, you won't budge an inch until you hear that.
All right, and so that's that. And then we do that, and it goes away. It hasn't gone away for me yet, but there we go. All right. Samuel says Raven needs some special lighting as well. All right, you can drop it off. We're down here at 705 Central Avenue, Suite 200. Go ahead and purchase it and drop it off down here. just leave it at the front desk, and they will let me know that there is some special lighting. No, I'm down with it. I agree. Ten minutes to the top of the hour. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon, 513-749-1230. That is the number to get on board. Let me go to the phone. I said I would go to the phone. Marla, you're on the buzz.
Good evening. Good afternoon, Emanuel and Raven.
Good afternoon, Marla.
I have a question for you, Emanuel. When you were saying that you kind of want to know more background about this story before you pass judgment, is there something in your mind that could be mitigating in these circumstances that would make you look at this couple and say, well, because this happened or because that happened, then I have to look at the situation a little differently? Is that why you're saying that?
Absolutely.
Okay. This is probably going to sound harsh, but
That's all right.
I don't have sympathy for people who abuse or kill their children, despite I understand that hurt people, and all of that. You know, I was a teen mom myself, so I get it. The thing that I didn't have as a teen mom way back in 1988 that everybody has access to now is technology and the internet. And so the resources that weren't readily available or you didn't know how to get to back then, you can certainly access right now. And there is much more openness. There's much more people that are willing to step out. And there's much more information that people are privy to, that they can access the type of help that they need. Now, in the pictures that I saw of the couple, and I don't know how long ago they took these pictures. I don't know where they got these pictures from, maybe from social media or whatever. But, I mean, I looked at these two young people, and, I mean, I have a kid that's around their age, 19, 20 years old. I'm looking at her. She has a lace front wig. She has her lashes done. Looks like she had her eyebrows done. This guy looks like he has his hair lined up. So clearly they knew how to groom themselves and take care of themselves. They didn't look like they were wanting in that area. So it just leaves me wanting for any compassion for them. Now, maybe if one thing had happened to a kid, they made one bad mistake, or it was one time that they weren't being, responsible parents and something dreadful happened, then yeah, but when you have healed injuries and things of that nature and sustained abuse over a long period of time, I just don't have compassion for that. And I don't care what the mitigating circumstances are. I don't care about abuse. I've been in abusive relationships. Plenty of people have been in abusive relationships and have not abused their kids in return. So I don't have it for them. I'm sorry.
All right. And I'm not trying to convince you to have it for them.
Oh,
and,
no.
And I'm not saying that I'm going to say, when I hear other things like, oh, well, yeah, it was good that they killed that kid. No, of course that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, there are always lessons to be learned. Look, I don't know how old you are, Marla.
I'm 51.
At 51, can you say that you know everything?
Oh, of course not.
But
course not.
Hold on, I'm going somewhere. But that same information that you're talking about that's out there for them is at your fingertips as well. Just because it's there doesn't mean that everybody seeks out all of the information that's there. They may not actually know how to seek the help. They may not even know that they need the help that they need, depending on their situations. Maybe if they were raised in an abusive situation, it's possible that they just saw abuse as a form of discipline. While it's still wrong, and I'm not saying have any it's good that they, but I'm saying that might help explain why someone would severely abuse somebody else if they were severely abused. It doesn't excuse it, but it might help me, because I'm the only one, I guess, who's asking. It might help me understand.
I can understand how you would feel that, but and just if they were raised in that type, of environment and saw that, but clearly they've seen other environments that work like that, and they didn't take after that. They chose to take after the other environment. So that's where I'm at with it.
And that's
clearly every relationship they saw and every household they went in was not violent. Whether it was on social media or in real life or people that they just knew, clearly and certainly they saw some form of healthy, whole relationships in their lifetime.
I would have to imagine, yes.
And so for them to not choose that path, but to choose the path that they may have experienced, that just don't get it for me.
Well, again, when you say it don't get it for you, all I'm saying is I'm trying to understand what gets a person here. And then those are lessons that maybe we can use somewhere down the road to stop somebody else from ending in that same spot.
Yeah, I can understand that.
That's it.
But I ain't going with these two, though. I'm sorry.
All right.
And I feel like that about just about every situation I've heard of, even when the circumstances come out, it's never swayed me. I don't care about the people who roast their kids in the car and say they forgot. I don't have compassion for them either. I just don't. That's just not in me. The Lord ain't working me like that yet.
Okay. And I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, well, thank you all.
Marla, I appreciate your call. 513-749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Blade?
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Hey, good commentary. Hey, I guess you can take this many ways, but I don't know. It seems like this is happening too many times. I heard a lot of commentary. It's not the child's fault that it was born in this world. So when are we gonna take responsible and defend the child?
I think we're doing that.
Are we?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just just putting things out there. I don't know.
Hold on. Before you go any further, when you say when are we gonna take responsibility and defend the child, are you saying when is the community gonna stand up and be vigilant? Because there's a story about one of the neighbors who says she heard some stuff, but. Are you asking when is that neighbor gonna step in when you hear something that sounds maybe not right, that you go knocking on the door, even if it make you seem like you nosy as hell, but you like it sound like a baby being hurt, or you make a phone call and you say, hey, it sound like a baby being hurt? Is that the question that you're asking?
No, because when you read, because you need to bring somebody in there to really break down them terms that you said would happen to that baby, because that didn't happen in all one night. That was a constant thing. And you trying to tell me as the baby get bruised and get healed, did nobody see that baby, didn't ask questions? I'm pretty sure that baby was around family. I'm just saying, man, the other night, it was family together. Two cowards got into a fight at their grandmother's house. The grandmother tried to get between them. The grandmother come up dead, and nobody went to jail. And didn't nobody say nothing. I'm just saying, this stuff is happening too in our community, in-house. And we just, babies come up dead. An 80-year-old woman gets shot in the head, dead in her own house on New Year's Eve. I mean, is this... I'm just saying, where are we going to take accountability? And I understand it's young people, but damn, we was young when we had our children. So I just don't understand that. I understand we want to feel sympathy for these people, but damn, basic common sense. If you got a problem with a child, you can't hear it. Take it somewhere, drop it off, or damn, he could have just left the house and left the baby there. The way that them things they describe are very disturbing.
They are very disturbing.
The baby, it's like you shook that baby so much that his head was barely hanging onto his neck, and then something wrong with his pancreas. Somebody really need to break it down. That was like a couple of months, maybe a year, abuse, and the girlfriend didn't know something was wrong with her child. And then you had somebody calling this morning and try to defend the girl. I mean, whoever it is, because you let people talk long enough, they telling us the caller that called in sound like she need to be brought in question. I mean, this family, I mean, like you said, did nobody ask about the child? I mean, where's the grandmother? I mean, and you talking about where's the grandfather? I mean, where's the real daddy? If that was the real daddy. I'm just saying, why are we putting our hands on women and children, and where's the men in the community? And then one more thing, once again, if you have a child, it's not the child's fault that you cannot raise it. And I'm thinking, I always say purge. Maybe when people like this found guilty, they need to be, I forgot the word, but maybe they need to be sterilized. And then it won't happen between them. Them two won't have babies no more, and won't have to worry about the next baby being killed. I know that sounds cruel, but we need to start going there because it's not the baby's fault. It comes into this world and you can't raise it. What's up, bro?
All right. That was Blade. 513-749-1230. Again, it's not the baby's fault. And people need to protect these children. I don't know that you can necessarily say the community, like outside of the family. There's a 2-year-old and a 5-month-old. You can harm a 2-year-old and a 5-month-old and nobody know. And absolutely nobody know. They're not in school yet. They're not doing anything. And you know how many kids go without health care? So they go for years without getting a checkup. Well, why didn't the doctor say something? They probably didn't take them to the doctor. There are a lot of kids who go without health care, without a checkup for years. So, it is very possible for this to happen and for no one to know except the people in that home.
And you never know. They could be estranged from their parents too. Like somebody, I think either you said or somebody else said, you don't know how these people were raised. So you don't know what their, parental relationship is like. So they might have a grandma, but she might have stopped talking to her grandma talking to her mom when she had that baby or something like that. You just never know.
True. Let me get a break in. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
WBBZ, Cincinnati, 1230 The Buzz, your talk station.
Good afternoon. News is sponsored by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy for free with DuckDuckGo. Cincinnati Public Schools will remain open even as the area continues to deal with surging COVID cases.
I don't know anyone, and I don't know anyone who's anti-adoption.
I feel like it's just this unspoken thing. Like they just look down on people who give their kids up for adoption because it's seen as you kind of just shirking all responsibility for their child. But if you speak to somebody who actually has gone through the process of having their child adopted, I know that I'm not equipped to take care of you properly. And I know that through this system, I can find somebody who can. And that is the only reason why I'm doing this. Not because I don't love you, not because I don't want to take care of you, not because I don't want to be there for you. I'm doing what I feel like is the best because I know I'm not equipped. And I feel like it is sort of an unspoken thing that we kind of look down on people who put their kids up for adoption. But I feel like in this situation, it would probably have been perfect for these kids.
3 minutes after. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. First hour of the show. Talk a little bit about the parents indicted on these murder charges. Is there, Miss Mundy, is there someone on the line? I see it there. We're talking about the parents indicted on these charges and just looking at the idea of, I don't want to say withholding judgment, but, maybe doing our our young people like other people do their young people? Maybe. Let me go back to the phone. Vernon.
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, 'cause I'm actually in a car wash. I didn't think you was going to come in that fast. Here's my problem, Emanuel. I have no remorse for these two. I don't care about these two. Y'all killed babies, okay? And you just didn't kill them. You tortured these children, okay?
Okay.
My granddaughter is 2 years old.
Uh-huh.
Ava Jean just turned 5 months today. There is nothing Butter could do that would make me want to beat that child. Okay? I realize it is tough. Oh, you know what, man? This is disrespectful to you. I'm going through the blowers. Can you put me back on hold, or I can call you back?
Okay. Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. And there's nothing that little baby could do to make me harm her. At the same time, I'm a 51-year-old man who, I've learned to control my anger. I've learned to control my feelings and all of that kind of stuff. I've learned how to deal with pressure. I learned how to tune stuff out if I need to tune stuff out. I've learned a whole lot since I was 18, 17, 19. I've learned a whole lot. So, yeah, I understand. And again, I don't know how, well, I guess I do know how. Somebody once told me nuance is hard. Nuance is hard. So I want to be clear. Not saying, or at least I'm not saying, I don't think anyone is saying it's okay what happened to that baby or to that 2-year-old. No one is saying that. I don't think anyone is saying something can come up that would excuse, that would make it okay what happened to that baby and to that 2-year-old. I haven't heard anyone say that. What I'm saying is having the story, the backstory, helps me understand why it happened, how it got to that point, and then you can maybe take that information and use that to teach other people and help them not find themselves in the situation where it happened. And if they see themselves getting to that point, they say, yeah, I'm not going to get to that point. Ain't that what we do? And honestly, ain't that what we do? Like, and I'm telling y'all, this is my biggest frustration. This is my biggest frustration. Maybe not the biggest, but this is one of my big frustrations. Skylar. I'm going to keep going back to Skylar. She's not the only one, but she's the one that top of mind. Skylar could have a child and bury it in the backyard. Get convicted of murder or whatever she was convicted of. And people can still look at it and say, that was wrong. What she did was horrible, but we're not going to throw her away as a human because she did even this horrible thing. She's still redeemable as a human. And I believe, didn't they either reduce her sentence or something like that?
So she was originally sentenced to 3 years community control, and she got 7 days in county jail, but she got time served for that. And they bumped down her 3-year probation they released her from her probation 2 years early.
Now we want to take our people and just throw them away. That's what they're doing. They're not saying we're excusing what she did. What she did was good. That's not what they're saying. They're saying she's still one of our young people. And there's a possibility that, you know, she feels remorse and that she can be productive in society. So let's not throw her away. And then let's take Skylar. And especially if she turns it around, that can be a lesson for some other young girl in that situation. But if I say that about these people, see, they can say that about them, and then they can do it and they can put it in action. But just at the mere suggestion that we hear the whole story, there are people like, oh, you racist, everything, and oh, you did, it's just going bonkers. At the mere suggestion that these two people are still human, maybe salvageable. That frustrates me. That frustrates me. Should they pay? Yes, they should pay. All right, let me go back to the phone. Let's see if Vernon is. Vernon?
Okay, buddy. I apologize, man.
It's all good.
I truly do. But what I was saying was, you know, as you said, just like with the white girl up there, you know, nobody ever brought up the fact that the rumor was that baby wasn't white, that she was messing around with two kids or two boys on the football team, and that was why. That never came up. But even to her, I feel like anybody who does something to a child, I feel like they're unredeemable. That's just my personal opinion. And like I was saying before earlier, there's nothing that my grandbaby can do and to make me want to abuse her. But now I will just say this here. When you talk about the family, I've heard, what about the family? What about the family? You know, we have, I guess, is a backup plan. Because there has been a couple times when my daughter's been exhausted. He's exhausted. And Butter's just running all over the place. And she's called, can you come get her for a couple hours? We need to get some sleep. I get all that. Yeah. So that's where family can come in. You know, they both work nights, and she's doing this online school or whatever. I get that. But there's never a time to do that type of beating. And like I said, I've had foster kids, man. I've had a boy come to me where he's been beaten so bad, his boy's back looked like Denzel Washington from Glory. I've had a teenage boy in my house that's been raped by a newscaster. You know, doing things to children, to me, makes you a horrible person. I don't want to hear about no redemption. I don't want to hear about did you still got some self-worth? No, you don't. No, you don't have self-worth. Children are defenseless.
Here's what I would ask you. Here's what I would ask you. Okay, so we're looking at these two 19-year-olds, and we're saying they don't still have self-worth. And we're looking at Skylar Richardson, and we're saying she doesn't have self-worth. But somehow...
I didn't say that. I don't think she's got self-worth, because I believe if that baby was white and not mixed, that baby would still be here.
Hold on, but that's what I said, and you said you didn't say it.
Okay, go ahead, bro. You're right. Go ahead.
And so we're looking at all these people. So across the board, we say none of them have self-worth. All right, fine.
Yep.
Skylar's out. I think Victoria mentioned, the law firm that represented her hired her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she works for them. Yeah, she got a job for them. Yeah.
Right.
I remember that.
Why is it that you can say none of them have any worth, but then some of them can actually have worth? They can go work for a law firm and go to school and keep going with their life, or go back to work the next day after they cry on Oprah and all of that good stuff. But then other ones who don't have no worth, well, just throw them away.
Right, and here's the exact reason why. This is my opinion. My opinion is what it's. You know, if I said it the wrong way, like I said, Skylar doesn't have any more worth. You know, her parents have some money, got her a good lawyer. My opinion is still she killed a baby. Now, the reasons they never brought that up, so I'm saying anybody, white, black, green, purple, space alien, whoever, when you're killing defenseless children, I personally don't care about you, and I want to flip the switch. I don't care what color you are, what you got. I don't care about any of that because kids are defenseless. A child can't defend themselves.
I agree.
A child can't say, "Hey, he did something to me," and you just torture a kid. So if I misspoke earlier, that's my bad. But I'm saying all. I don't give a damn about.
You did. You said all. But you did. No, you did. You didn't misspeak. You said all. You were clear about all. But of course, the distinction that I'm making is your opinion is all, and you feel like all. But as a community, one community says,
"I'm with you."
Hey, you can be redeemed. We gonna make sure that you are okay when all is said and done. And the other community is saying, throw them away. We don't want them.
I'm with you. Yeah. No. That's yeah. You got a good point there. But that's just my opinion, and that's just from my experience of dealing with children. And when you say it's 5 months and 2 years old, like I said, neighbor Jean just turned 5 months today. I couldn't imagine doing anything to that baby. And I even dreamed that somebody was doing something to her. It's going to be a problem, so. Yeah. But that's just me, man, and like I said, I do apologize for that.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
All right, I'll talk to you later, brother.
All right, Vernon. 513-749-1230. Let me get this break in here. Mimi, you're coming up next. 513-749-1230. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
All the news and information you need.
Okay. Okay. You should try to make sure you tell me that when I'm not on the air. No, not for me, for you. Because, they can actually still hear you. Well, I mean, just hear you kind of bleeding through this mic. So, yeah, I just don't want all your business out there. Angela says, I agree with Vernon. What do you agree with Vernon about? He said a whole lot of stuff. Oh, somebody said they couldn't really hear you, so you good. Look, I know some of y'all think the stuff that I'm saying is crazy. I know some of y'all do. And I understand it. But I'm thinking about kind of big picture stuff. If we just keep throwing away all our people for everything that they do wrong, which we do, we're really harsh on ourselves, and then we watch another community or communities be able to define wrong and still have sympathy for their young people and others. And then we wonder why that even is oversimplified. I'm about to say you wonder why we can't get ahead, but it's not just can't get ahead, but it's so much involved. Oh, CK is on here. Now, let me guess. Why can't you forgive Bill Cosby for raping all those women? You talking about forgiving people, but you ain't forgiving Bill Cosby or R. Kelly. My guess is CK on the line. He going to be somewhere in that vicinity. Jerica says, how do we hold them accountable? You punish them. There's a difference between, though, punishing them and throwing them away. You hold them accountable. You don't throw them away. Because if you ask me, another not necessarily fair comparison, not knowing all the details of either situation, but Skylar Richardson should face much more harsh punishment than these two. The people, the people with more, you expect more from them. She wasn't in dire straits financially. She wasn't out there on her own. She had a support system right there in the house with her. They had resources to do and take care of that child, and that they would have used them to do that. These two are two 19-year-olds out there possibly on their own with limited resources. Minutes after. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. It's a complex issue that we discuss. And it's really emotional when you're talking about harming children, because there are a lot of people who there's no sympathy for that. No sympathy for that. I want to know, what do you think? What do you think? We just throw them away. Just throw them away. While other people rescue theirs, pull them back, rehabilitate. For us, just throw them away. Just throw them away. Because we're on a moral high ground. We're on the moral high ground. So we got to be more harsh with crime because we have the moral high ground. So those people, they're on the moral low ground. So yeah, their people can do bad stuff, and then they can rescue them and rehabilitate them and put them in a position where they can live happy, productive lives. Or just throw them away. Just throw them just away. Life in prison. Throw them away. I don't like that. Mimi.
Emanuel.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm fantastic, and you?
Oh, I've been better. First of all, let me apologize. I have not been listening to the entire show. I've been in and out because I can't hear too much about people hurting children. It's just not good for my head. I just can't. But I am more, and I apologize for being a little scattered because it really does mess with my psyche whenever I hear about people abusing children.
Mm-hmm.
But my reasoning for calling in was more of to try and stress the importance of being more preventative with your family and friends so that they don't have to get to that point. I mean, there's so many times when parents, especially new parents, are just so stressed out. Baby won't stop crying. You're doing everything. You trained them. You fed them. They still won't stop crying, and you just, I guess, I don't know, because as you know, I don't have kids, so I am not even going to pretend to be some type of expert, but I guess you just snap and you just take it out on the baby, and that's where I feel like, yes, we all like to say, you know, call a family member and everything, but what if you don't have anyone that you can call a family member or anything? For example, I had a friend, I have a friend who, her husband travels quite a bit for work. And I called her up, it was about 8 o'clock one night, just to say, hey, see what you're doing and everything. Baby was going crazy in the background. Her baby was about 5 or 6 months at the time, just screaming, and she just sounded incredibly stressed. And I was just like, you know what, I'm going to do something I never do. I showed up at her house before calling, and I never do that with anybody. I normally call first. And I just showed up, had a 20-piece set of wings for her, and I said, okay, I'm going to take the baby, drive around the neighborhood a little bit. Just do whatever you want, just for 20 minutes, half an hour. Just de-stress. Let me take your baby, driving around in the car. Because from my past experiences, my nieces and nephews, when they were babies, whenever they were going crazy, I'd throw them in the back seat of the car and just drive around and play a certain song, and they would be out in 5 minutes. So I took her baby from her for about a half hour, 45 minutes, just drove around Cincinnati, playing this melodic song, and, you know, the baby fell asleep and everything. I get back, dropped the baby off to her. She thanked me profusely. She washed her hair. She told me she had not been able to wash her own hair in like 2 weeks. And she was just thankful to be able to wash her hair and then eat 10 wings. I mean, that's the type of thing that I feel like we need to do to our, you know, struggling parents, mother and father, you know? Just help them out. You don't even have to buy them anything. Just show up to let them know that you care and that you're there. I mean, the look on her face, just to be able to wash her hair.
Yes.
I'll never forget it. And, you know, I was just like, I literally cried all the way home because I was thinking, first of all, anybody who knows me knows I can't have no babies. And I was just thinking, what if that were me? I can't even, you know, as my daddy would tell me, I can't even come in out of the rain. So I couldn't even imagine being responsible for another human being and having to do it 80 or 90% of the time by yourself.
Right.
So just everybody just try to be more kinder to each other. Try to extend a helping hand to people if you can. And just be patient and be kind with each other. That's all I got. Because now I'm just emotional and rambling. So.
Well, go ahead and cry.
I'll try not to.
Let it out. All right. Thank you for the call.
Bye.
All right. She about to cry. Go ahead and let it out. Nothing wrong with crying. Nothing wrong with crying, especially when you're talking about something like this. Nothing wrong with crying. CK.
Hey, Livingston, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, CK. How about you?
Oh man, it's terrible, man. It's bad. It's going like that, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
I think this was wrong with the black race, because we got too many people, you know, older black men that's you know, raising the youth with this nonsense. We all know that if you murder a baby, you deserve to die, period. It don't matter if you're Skylar or the couple you're talking about, right?
Well, I don't know about the deserve to die part, but okay.
Why wouldn't you deserve to die if you kill a baby?
I don't believe in the you repaying death for death. Then you're as bad. So the person who put that person to death then deserves to die, and then the person who then we all end up just dead.
Okay, but then we got older black men over 50 saying, "Well, they let her go. Why wouldn't we want to let her go?" You know that no. She deserves the death penalty just like they deserve the death penalty. It's no halfway.
Well, I don't agree that that's the case. But all right, let's go with what you're saying. They both deserve the death penalty.
Right. For killing a baby.
Right, for killing a baby. So then we put these two to death, but Skylar's still walking around with a job at a law firm, going to college, enjoying her life. How is that good and or fair or right?
Okay, now this is what I'm saying. Okay, I'm just saying as far as justice is I judge the crime.
I'm talking about justice.
Okay, and I'm talking about I judge the crime based on if I did the crime. So if I did what Skylar did, I deserve the death penalty.
All right.
And if they did what Skylar did, they deserve the death penalty.
Okay.
Period. So
no, because you can't say period because again, CK, we put these two to death, but Skylar is working at a law firm, going to college, living her best life. Now what?
No, but Skylar she deserves the death penalty also.
But she didn't get it. So we put these two to death, but Skylar is going to college, working at a law firm, living her best life. Now what?
Oh, so this baby don't get justice because you're thinking about Skylar.
No, I'm asking you. Hold on. We just gave her justice. We put these two to death, but Skylar is working at a law firm, going to college, and living her best life. So now what? What do we do to Skylar?
I said they deserve the death penalty. You said you don't believe in the death penalty.
All right, but I'm rolling with you.
So we can compromise. So we can go with life in prison. So hold on. So what do you suggest? So you suggest let's let them free because Skylar's free? That's what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is we have some sympathy for them because we can look at them and we can see people have sympathy. See, that's what I'm saying. Why?
From? Do you get sympathy when I commit a crime, or do you pick and choose who you have sympathy for?
Yes,
who gets sympathy?
Yes, you get sympathy too.
So you have sympathy for child molesters and rapists?
You have sympathy for everybody.
Why? They're criminals. That's the problem. You keep looking at why, and you need to handle the crime. The why is what's letting these people walk free.
Just because they get the punishment that they deserve doesn't mean you don't have sympathy for them.
Sympathy for what? You committed a crime. You murdered. You took one of God's creatures. Why do you deserve sympathy? You did that.
Because they're humans.
I give you sympathy.
Because they're human.
And we out here. No, I can't. You deserve sympathy because you out here showing how much you love your baby and showing pictures. You don't deserve no sympathy because you out here killing your baby. Hey, I killed my baby. Can I kill you? Help me out. No, that's sick. And it's sick to support somebody that would murder a child. You have to. You say Skylar, what they did with Skylar was wrong. She deserved the death penalty, and they do. Now, justice, the way it's presented, is different, but we don't have any power. White people have the power. And
so, wait a minute. So if white people have the power, and they use their power to attempt to redeem their people, why do we have to be...
They not using their power to redeem their people. They using their power to show... No, it's showing evil. That's showing we're gonna congratulate you. We're gonna reward you for murdering a baby. That's evil. That's not redeemable. That's wicked. What are you talking about? That's wickedness. Why would you call that redemption and you rewarding the woman for murdering her own baby?
I don't know that that's what they were doing. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think that showing someone the attempt to redeem someone who has done something horrible is a reward for the horrible thing. And that's what I'm saying. I think that we might be looking at this thing wrong instead of looking at it like, well, I can't, understand what they went through and what they did, acknowledge that it's wrong, but still view them as potentially redeemable because then I'm rewarding them. Maybe that's the wrong way to look at it.
But you need to look at people who murder babies as evil, wicked people who deserve the death penalty. Now, our justice system does not allow us to get equal justice, but it doesn't take away from what they deserve for murdering God's babies. You murder a baby. So Skylar or a black couple, whatever deserves justice by the death penalty or at least life in prison. It's like we got to stop worrying about the whys.
Well, but again, the interesting thing about that is, CK, they'll get what they deserve, whereas other people who do the same thing will live their best life, redeemed, and sure, that shame will still hang over their head and hopefully in their hearts for the rest of their lives. But they'll be out there living their best lives where our people will all be thrown away. And I don't like that.
And you know, that's living in America. That's been from day one since you was born. It's going to always be like that. A special rule for you.
But it's going to always be like that if we accept it, as this going to always be like that. And if we continue to perpetuate it, then it's always going to be like that.
But you have to stay firm on the penalty. If you do that, don't let up. Don't let them convince you that it is a redeeming quality. No, it's no redeeming. You don't deserve no day in light because of what you're crying. There's no coming back. Thank you, brother.
All right, I appreciate the call. Got to get out of here. I'm late for this break. It's the Afternoon Experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
It's like deja vu.
Someone says, stop with the comparisons. No, I will not. Why would I stop with the comparisons? So we can't never compare anything anymore? We can't look at a situation where people killed children and look at the way that they've been treated by the community and the justice system and say, hey, why can't we do the same thing? Of course I won't stop. I'm comparing the Taco Bell dog to Scooby-Doo. They're both dogs. You can compare them. You know what a comparison is? I don't know why I have to keep on telling y'all this. Like, the idea that you can't compare two unlike things is a horrible idea. When you compare things, you look at the similarities between them. You contrast them, you look at the differences. So the Taco Bell dog got teeth. Scooby-Doo, I think, got teeth. Taco Bell dog got 2 ears. Scooby-Doo, 2 ears, 2 eyes, a tail. You can compare two unlike things. I don't know. Maybe I actually kind of care about equal justice. And if we looking at the justice system and we cool with, because this is what I'm kind of hearing from some people, we cool with the unequal justice system. Matter of fact, that, put us a little tier above. The more harsh we are on black people, the better for black people. Why even do anything? Why even do anything to fix it? It just is. We should embrace it and be even more harsh on our own people because they're not going to be on theirs. We'll show them. I just can't get with that. I just can't get with that. Black Wolf says it's a ridiculous comparison that I'm trying to make. Yeah, a white girl murdered her baby. 2 black people, 1 or 2 black people murdered a baby. That's a ridiculous comparison to compare murdering a baby to murdering a baby. Yeah, you're right, Black Wolf Fish. That is a ridiculous comparison to make. How dare I think there are any similarities to people murdering babies and people murdering babies? I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking when I thought they're comparable. I'm learning that some of y'all believe that you can only compare 2 things if they are exactly to the minutest detail the same. Minutes till the top of the hour. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. 3 o'clock this afternoon, 513-749-1230. All right, in other news, here in the Cincinnati area, Talawanda to be exact, there was a father frustrated with a school district. Nearly 11 months after a tri-state student accused a teacher of touching her inappropriately, the girl's father said that they're still in the dark. Said they are still in the dark about what's happening. Apparently, this 12-year-old girl, she says her teacher touched her on the shoulder and then rubbed his hand down the front of her body. She went immediately, according to the story, immediately to the principal's office and reported it. This was 11 months ago. And 11 months later, the teacher is still suspended, according to the story. And the police are still investigating, according to the story. But he says they have no idea what's going on. They have no idea what's going on. He says, I don't understand why it takes so much time. It's tough to digest. He says this is the reason why girls don't come forward, because they're afraid of being not believed. The Talawanda School District, they say the incident remains under investigation and that a decision won't be made until the investigation is complete. But again, this was 11 months ago. It's almost a year ago. Now, I'm looking at it, trying to look at it from multiple perspectives. As a parent and as the child, I'm frustrated as heck. He groped me. He rubbed all up on my body. And I went and told right away. And you know, y'all be like, why did they wait so long? She went and told right away. According to the story, right away. But it's been a year and nothing happened. Ain't nobody telling us nothing. That might make me feel like, okay, yeah, he's suspended. He's suspended. Is he coming back? What happens if this happens to me again? Is it going to be the same situation? If I'm the parent or I'm the student, I am frustrated. But guess what? If I'm the teacher and I didn't do it, I'm equally frustrated. Why is this taking so long? I was wrongfully accused of touching a child, and I didn't do it. I'm suspended. The police and the school are investigating. But it's taking them so long to find out I didn't do it. I'm cooperating with the investigation. I need this out from over my head. Yes, he's on paid leave. But I need this out from over my head. If I didn't do it, and that's if I didn't do it. I want this investigation fast-tracked. Clear my name. But again, if I'm the student and I was groped by a teacher, I want this fast-tracked so I can get some justice and feel safe going to school. There's no win here. There's no win here. And I don't even know how long does an investigation of that nature take? I mean, if there's video, you watch the video. If there's no video, then you question people. You question people. And you try to make sense of everything. You know, maybe look into his background. Maybe look into her background. See if there's something where they've tried to scam somebody and get a lawsuit based on, you know, some information that was later proven to be untrue, or even just multiple things that have been substantiated or at least believed. If you like, man, a whole lot of grown men been accused of touching this girl and they all say they didn't do it, but we just believed her, and there might be something going on here. Might be. When you look into that, but I don't know that should take a year. I feel like, with the very limited information that I have, which is just a story, it's possible that the school district might be dragging their feet, hoping that it go away, and then, you know, she's no longer in the area around this particular person, and then he can come back to work. But because he's been accused now, he's on high alert, and then you just kind of hope everything work out. I don't know that that's the way to conduct yourself if you're a school district or if you're a police department. So y'all need to come to some sort of conclusion. Either say, sorry, we don't believe you. There's no evidence to substantiate your claim. And sir, go back to work. Sorry for the inconvenience. Or say, we got some evidence. He's charged. We're charging him with something. He's fired. He's something. But just to hang in limbo for a year, I agree with the father. That's why girls don't come forward. They're afraid of not being believed. I wanna follow this story and see what happens, but I don't think that should be. I don't think that investigations of that nature should take that long. You don't want to rush them, but taking that long is maybe a little too long. All right, let me get to bringing here. Lawrence, hold on. I'll get to you after the break. It's the Afternoon Experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
Get ready for the Urban One Honor.
Urban One Honor!
Presented by T-Mobile, hosted by R&B superstar Neo.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Neo.
Celebrating the soundtrack of Black America, some of the biggest entertainers will be hitting the stage. The honorees are Jennifer Hudson, Timbaland, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Campbell and Huff, Tasha Cobbs Leonard, with appearances by Eva Marcel, Vashawn Mitchell, Jermaine Dupri, Marlon Wayans, Tyrese, and Missy. With performances by Tank, Kelly Price, Tasha Cobbs Leonard, Johnny Gale, Ralph Tresvant, and Her. It all goes down on January 17th, MLK Day on TV1. Presented by T-Mobile.
Reality. The reality is that for far too long, there have been efforts to refocus the now $1.3 trillion annual spending power of the black consumer market. Over the past several decades, there have been numerous Buy Black campaigns, but still only about 3% of that $1.3 trillion circulates back to the black community. So let's try it again. Each week, we will identify 3 black-owned businesses on Tuesday and spend money with them for the week. And then on the next Tuesday, we will identify 3 more in our local communities. The businesses for this week are...
Oh, I'm sorry. I was congratulating TC. Being accepted to work with AAA. And I'm not 100% sure what that means. Like, I don't know what you do. It ain't none of my business. It ain't none of my business if you don't want to share. I was curious if somebody need their wheelchair towed, do that mean you got the hookup? Can you know. I pay for AAA. I haven't used AAA in a few years. Oh, you are actually going to be working roadside. So you do got the hookup. What was her name? I don't remember her name. Apparently people tow wheelchairs. It's a thing. It began with a C. What was the young lady in the wheelchair who needed it towed? You got to share your number so that if people need your assistance. It was not Celeste. It wasn't Celeste. I'll know it when I see it. Claudette, that was it. Claudette. Glenn says that's an injustice. Tow a wheelchair. If it dies, the wheelchairs are heavy. Them motorized wheelchairs are heavy. They ain't like, the old school wheelchair where you just fold it up and carry it. Motorized wheelchairs are heavy. You said they tow e-bikes? Hold on. Why would they tow an e-bike? Unless I'm thinking of it wrong. I've actually been looking into getting an e-bike. You have to pedal the e-bike. Now, if it runs out of battery, you can still pedal that bad boy. Right? Like some of them have pedal assist, but most of them you can use without using the battery. Seven minutes. Clock just changed to the top of the hour.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because your math can't be trusted.
It was 8 minutes after it was 52, and then it changed to 53.
The clock I'm looking at don't say nothing like that, but okay.
I'm looking at it now. It's 1:53.
Okay.
It's about to be 1:54.
Okay.
In like 10 seconds.
All we gonna wait?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No, but before you went to break at the 15, I had a question to ask.
Yes, ma'am.
We were talking about this situation with the two teens with the children, the 2-year-old, or is it a 2-year-old and a 5-month-old?
Yes.
The 2-year-old is in the hospital dealing with some injuries, and the 5-month-old did pass from their injuries.
Yes.
And we were having that discussion, and Vernon was the one who kind of popped this into my head, but you are kind of presenting the understanding or the concept that the way these stories are treated when it's black and white, they're completely different. You brought up Skylar Richardson and how that was treated in the media versus how this is being treated and how we are, putting together our perspective about it. My question is, a lot of times when we talk about a two-sided kind of issue, like anytime we ever talk about, what the Democrats are doing versus the GOP or whatever, a lot of times the feeling is, well, maybe we should just do what they're doing. Like whenever we're mad or upset with something that the GOP is doing, well, why the Democrats should just do the same thing because it seems to be working. And your response to that is always, well, we're better than that. Our morality, our moral compass is it points further north than that. So we don't have to succumb to that thinking or that feeling. And when it comes to this, when I was hearing Vernon talk about it, I can't say that I disagree with Vernon, because if you are somebody who is abusing children, I have no love in my heart for you. But at the same time, as somebody who understands that there are circumstances that lead to a person becoming an abuser, a lot of times it is because that person was once abused or because they have some issue or whatever. Does it, the way that we view these stories, like you said, when people jump on, specifically when it is a young black parent, the way that we respond to those stories, does that not just make us better? Is that not us being more morally correct? Is that not us being more, rigid? Because I don't know if I want to embrace somebody like child abusers in the way that the media embraced Skylar Richardson. We were very clearly upset about the way that they were treating that story. We didn't feel that it was okay. We were all in the moment of going through that story and understanding the details and everything that came out, like how she did it and the reasons behind it. We were disgusted, and I feel like it was rightfully so. But just because the media wasn't treating it that way, that didn't stop us from our disgust. That didn't stop us from our shunning of her and her actions. So why should we take that stance when it comes to a story like this when it's one of us?
All right. I'm not 100% sure what stance you believe is being taken, but let me explain where I am with it, because it's a legit question to ask. But I'm not saying, if I were saying they don't hold them at all responsible for their actions, because they didn't hold her at all responsible, like say they just said, it's fine, go home.
They basically did.
Well, but now if I were saying that, then I think you'd be on point. Like you can't just say it's fine because they say it's fine. But that's not what I'm advocating. I'm not advocating say it's fine. I'm advocating say it's not fine. I'm advocating hear the whole story. Hear the whole story. Hear what happened. I'm advocating using it, hopefully, as a teaching moment. I'm advocating that. And I'm advocating because as a community, a race, whatever, we are, when we dealing with the justice system, so far behind. Why would we want to keep shackling ourselves to fall further and further behind? If we're all on an even plane and everybody gonna be treated equal, treat everybody equal. But in so many circumstances we are behind, and what we're advocating is, hey, pull ourselves even further back, because then that makes us morally the best. If you're talking about doing bad, no, you don't match bad for bad, but you can match sympathy for sympathy. And sympathy, in my mind, is not bad. Sympathy is not bad. Now, if they were, hey, Skylar killed her child, get together a mob and cut off her head. I know that's extreme. Just roll with me for a second. And then I was like, well, they killed a kid. They black. Get a mob, cut off their head. Now I'm trying to match their level of bad. I don't want to do that. But if you ask me, sympathy is a moral thing. It's not immoral to show sympathy to someone. It's not immoral to want to redeem someone if they're redeemable. That's not immoral. And I look at, I'm going to make some generalizations, but I want to stress these are generalizations. They don't apply across the board, even to a great deal of people. These are generalizations. But I look at how a lot of people in the white community create situations to move their children forward, to help them get ahead. Like I said, I lived in Hamilton, the white part of Hamilton. I lived in Fairfield. There's not a black part of Fairfield. It's just Fairfield, it's white. I lived in both of those communities. I saw kids do bad stuff. And parents either look the other way, not call the police, take them home to their parents. I've seen police called and police don't cuff them and take them to jail. They take them home. And one could argue, well, hold on. He threw a rock through the window. That's vandalism. Take him to jail. And then I say, well, hold on, but when I lived in Fairfield, that kid threw a rock through the window. The police were called. The police took him home. The police said to the parents, you're going to have to pay for that window. The parents said, all right, we'll pay for the window. But that kid didn't end up with a record. So that kid was able to go on through the rest of his life unblemished, unless he chose to make another mistake. Now that black kid in Avondale throw a brick through a window. When the police come, click cuffs on him, take him down to jail, and you know, if they could, they try him as an adult. And for me to say, hold on, what about not police don't take him to jail, just take him home and tell his parents to, well, but we gotta be what
you're speaking in
what I'm advocating in this, because I know this is very, very much different than throwing a brick through a window. And I know people get caught up on the example, so I have to bring it home
at some point.
The point that I'm making is the justice system is the justice system. And we gotta work within the justice system. But at the same time, we can't see sympathy for everybody else. And because again, I don't think sympathy is a bad thing. I think if anything, that's one of the things that we can look at and say, that's admirable, that they don't want to see their young people put in the most disadvantageous position possible. The most disadvantageous that they can possibly imagine. No, they say you did something bad. And if we perceive you as redeemable, we want to redeem you. How could that be bad for black people? Even if you've done the worst thing that you can think of. If you're redeemable, let's redeem you. How is that a bad thing? That's all I'm saying. If you're not redeemable, you're not redeemable. But we get on white people. White people have some admirable qualities. Oh, why can't we take some of the admirable qualities, like they really looking out for their kids and their futures? Why can't we take some of those qualities and adopt them?
But those things are, I think maybe that's what causes my confusion then. Because a lot of those quote unquote admirable attributes that you might find in white folks I view a lot of those things. I guess the lens that I view a lot of those quote unquote attributes through are always at the detriment of me and my people. So like, yeah, they look out for their kids, but if little Jaquan did the same thing as little Jimmy, they can't wait to send little Jaquan up the road. So it's like, I get it. Like, yeah, they look out for their kids,
But hold
at the
on.
same time,
But
it's often at the detriment of our children.
Hold on. But we can't. Little Jaquan. We can't wait to send little Jaquan up the road. See, little
but it
Jimmy.
depends on what little Jaquan did. If little Jaquan did something to be sent up the road,
But little Jimmy
why
did the same thing.
But again, I see, and this is another thing too. I remember when I was growing up, I would hear adults say this all the time, like all the time. Well, you know, them white folks, they don't discipline their kids. They don't whoop their kids. You know, that's why white kids are all crazy and do all kind of stuff. You would never see a black child do nothing like that because white folks don't discipline their kids. And so it became part of our identity as black folks to be hard on our children, to discipline our children at every turn, at every aspect, because that's what's right. Because that's how you stop little Jaquan from doing all that crazy, foolish stuff that you see little Jimmy doing. It's not like that's not nothing to be that's not admirable, whatever it is that little Jimmy did. And so the way that we stop for a little Jaquan from doing it is to be hard on Jaquan, is to discipline him.
That ain't been working. We've been hard on Jaquan as hard as we could. And guess what? That made Jaquan many times harder. And so now Jaquan don't care. He go out in the community like, look, my parents was hard on me. I'm going to go out here and the law going to be hard on me. And I probably ain't going to live to see 25 anyway. So why not just get it all in anyway? Maybe we need to rethink how hard we are on Jaquan and not necessarily be so hard. And let Jaquan grow and learn and let Jaquan make some mistakes. Like little Jimmy get to make some mistakes. And then when they get older, they grow.
But when Jaquan make mistakes, we don't always get to Jaquan might not live to see past the mistakes the same way Jimmy might.
I'm advocating. I'm advocating for Jaquan to be able to see tomorrow. But the people are saying, no, because we black, Jaquan can't see tomorrow. But then we look at little Jimmy and we like, well, why did Jimmy get to see tomorrow? Well, all Jimmy's people was like, let Jimmy see tomorrow. Let Jimmy go. Let Jimmy go. And we like, kill Jaquan. Kill Jaquan. And we mad because they want to kill Jaquan, but we want to kill Jaquan more than they want to kill Jaquan. Because we want to prove to them that we harder on Jaquan than they can be on Jaquan. Let me get a break in here. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
WGDC.
It wasn't actually my analogy. It was Miss Mundy's analogy. I just roll with an analogy because I understand it for what it is. It's an analogy. You're trying to take something that's not the exact same but has some similar elements and compare it, typically because it's at a much lower level. Even though I understand some of y'all don't understand what an analogy is and the reason for it. But I thought it was a good analogy, Miss Mundy. I don't think the analogy was horrible or wrong. It's an analogy. It's not meant to be the exact same situation. It's an analogy. It's like when Jesus used to do his parables. They weren't the same situation. They were a different situation to illustrate a point.
He was there beside me, and my love for him was just
After. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. On the other side of the glass, Raven Mundy.
Hello.
513-749-1230. 749-1230. And look, I get there are a few people out there who just you don't understand the point that's being made because you get lost in the analogy. So I get it. So I guess the point then is for the people who can understand it. Something in the Bible about he who has an ear, let him hear, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And if you don't get it and you don't agree, then that's cool. We can still be cool and we can disagree. Let me go to the phone. Lawrence.
Well, Emmanuel, I've been listening to some of the comments on Lincoln's show and your show, and I'm left with this. I've said this before, and I hope Reverend Al and other people, because they do listen to your show, I hope they understand that in 2022, we can't keep going back dealing with each other like we've been dealing with each other for the last 40, 50 years, because we on the road to genocide. We killing our own. That little baby who died could have been the next prophet, leader, genius. See, this is what's so insidious about this whole conversation. And let me say this before I go any further. Emmanuel, if you will kill a defenseless baby, you don't deserve no mercy.
Okay.
If it would have been, and you know what? I just don't hold them two little kids, because they are kids, babies making babies, babies killing babies. This whole issue goes so deep, man. If we don't rescue our kids who are in elementary, we got to get these kids, these black kids in elementary, and wrap our arms around them and nurture and mentor them. When you get 12, 13, and junior high school on up, it's touch and go if you can be rescued, because basically when you get in the 7th, 8th grade, you kind of on that road. You still redeemable, but you kind of on the road to which you're going to go through life on. And I'm 64, bro. I come from a broken home. I come from a home that was racked with incest. I come from a home that was predominantly abusive, mentally, physically. I come from a home where a black man that was born in 1917 in Arkansas left my mother when I was 8 years old for a white woman to take care of her and her 2 kids. Hey, brother, I come from a home where incest, man, I have seen it. I'm hurt. I'm scarred. But here's the point. I didn't raise my 2 kids like that. I refused to beat my kids because you know what? I had a policy. If you don't want to do what's right and do what I tell you, you got to leave. We ain't going to fuss and fight. You go on. Get out. Go live your life.
When did that policy kick in?
That policy kicked in from day one. Well, basically, when my daughter, and she's upstairs now, like I say, she's successful. I didn't believe in beating her, and I told her, I'm not going to argue with you. I don't argue with your mother.
I'm asking for real. When did if you don't want to do what I say, get out, when did that policy kick in?
Junior high school, I had told my daughter she wanted to cut her hair and, get with the crowd. And I said, your hair is your crown of glory. You don't cut your hair to fit in with these hood rats. And you don't be out here hanging with these hoochies, because these hoochies are having sex and doing things, and if you do what they do, they're going to be calling here to the crib.
And so Lawrence, so had your daughter at that age cut her hair, you would have put her out of the house?
No, let's put it like this. I didn't let her cut her hair, but if she want to cut her hair at the age of what? I think she was 15. Yeah, about 15. And hey, she didn't do it, and now she's thankful that her daddy stepped up, because now she's got hair down her back, no extensions, no tats, no piercings, no fake eyebrows, no fake eyelashes, no fake nails. Naturally beautiful black woman, and now she gets it. She gets it. Don't try to fit in. You do what's right and listen to your parents. And like I said before, but let's get back on topic. Hey, Manuel, I want to take issue with the family, not just them two kids. No, bring the mama, the grandmama, the aunts, uncles. Bring the whole doggone family in and let them give an account how these little kids can be abused and going around the family and nobody sees or say nothing.
Hold on, wait. Here is, I kind of agree with you, but with a little bit of a caveat, if you want to call it that. What if the parents had a policy of, if you don't do what I say do, then you get out? And she did, or he did something that they say don't do, and they put them out. Then I don't know that we can advocate for that as a good policy in terms of raising children, but then blame the parents when something go bad because they follow the policy that we advocated for. So what if we hear that, mama, for example, said, look, if you get pregnant, you ain't having sex. If you have sex and you get pregnant in my house, you got to get out. And she got pregnant and the mama said, now get out. How do we then blame the mama for not being present in the grandkid's life when the mama did what you said, Lawrence, we should do as parents, and say, if you don't do what I say, then get out?
Well, I'll put it to you real succinctly, Emmanuel.
All right.
If you're a good parent and you're doing the right thing by your kids, sacrificing, making sure everything is squared away for them, pushing them to have a bright future. You see, my kids been given, they've been spoiled.
Oh, no, wait. You're about to get off track. You said if you're a good parent and you're doing the right things for your kids, then...
Let me give to you this. When a child gets in adolescence, they know which side their bread is buttered on. If a child is enjoying a very upscale middle-class life, but she wants to get out here and run with the hoochie, a lot of them girls are pregnant now, Emmanuel. A lot of them girls who...
You keep sidetracking yourself. You keep sidetracking yourself.
The point. If you give... Basically, it's the carrot or the stick. To make the long story short, it's the carrot or the stick. Basically, that's how a parent... how we did it.
Right, and
we did everything we supposed to do for the kids. Now, if you don't want to reciprocate and do for you, see, we don't ask our kids to do nothing for us.
And if you don't reciprocate, then what?
Yeah, go ahead and live your best life.
All right, now hold on, stop. I'm back. You took us around, and we ended up right back in the same situation. So you don't want to reciprocate. You go out there and you get pregnant. I put you out. And then something bad happens. How do you then blame me for what bad happened when I did everything I was supposed to do? You didn't reciprocate, so I put you out. Now how is it my fault now that I've put you out?
You're right. It is not the parent's fault. If a child that's old enough to know right from wrong, and God instills right and wrong in us from the day we are born, we just have to nurture it and mature it and, elevate it. But God knows, and we know what's right from wrong. We know it's not right to beat on a baby. No, we know that. And
we do know that.
The girl had her hair did, eyelashes, she all dialed up and all that, but yet instead you beating the hell out of a little kid. No, baby.
That is terrible.
I feel they should get the death. They should get the death penalty. Personally, Emmanuel, that's when the death penalty should be brought into play. If you're gonna kill a defenseless little baby, you ain't fit to walk the earth for it and breathe the same air that I breathe. And I don't care if Emmanuel, let me say one thing before you cut me off. Right and wrong don't have a doggone thing to do with color.
All right.
Right and wrong, and black folks want to keep.
You said it. I hear you. Right and wrong got nothing to do with color. I appreciate your call.
All right, man. Thank you, buddy.
513-749. That's the number to get on. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Got to get a break in. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
In case you missed the Russ Parr Morning Show, here's what you missed. Yeah, who's this?
Man, my name's Billy.
You sure? Had to think about it. Did you just wake up? Are we finishing a bowl? What are we doing here?
Yeah, sound like it.
Wow.
I finished in the middle.
Hey, Billy, man, where are you calling from?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
All right, let me see if you are cognizant enough to answer this question. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
What cereal do you need to make Rice Krispie treats?
Rice Krispies.
Damn it.
Woo, woo, woo.
Damn it. You're not as impaired as we thought.
And we know your Rice Krispie treats ain't the regular one.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yes, sir, Billy. If that's your name. Thanks for listening to the Buzz Bar Morning Show. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on 1230 The Buzz of Cincinnati.
Buzz Bar in the morning.
Let the One VIP Visa debit card make getting your tax refund simple and easy. It's free to get and no credit check. Enroll in direct deposit and get your refund back faster than waiting for a check in the mail. Hassle-free and easy, just like it should be. Go to onevip.com and get your card today. The One VIP Visa prepaid card is issued by Stride Bank N.A. Member FDIC, pursuant to a license from Visa USA, Inc. Use of the One VIP card is subject to terms and conditions.
Human beings are not capable of holding on to so much stress and tension, hurt and pain. The healing continues. Where do you feel like things went left? When I had a stillbirth. A.J. Johnson. Giving someone permission to feel, that's the beginning of the healing. How do you feel about that? I was angry. Now we can touch on life therapy. Do not be afraid of the life therapy, because that's where the healing starts.
Brand new episodes start tonight at 10 on TV1.
Yes, Miss Tubbs. No problem. I'll call someone about the plumbing.
One of Beatrice's properties needs a new superintendent. Someone with handyman superpowers and a concierge alter ego.
Does anyone know any good electricians near Parkville?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You are a waste. A loser. Everyone hates you. Why don't you just stay in your car and keep driving? I'm serious. Drive until you run out of gas, then get out of your car and walk until you find someone who doesn't think you're dumber than bricks. Could take a while, but at least all that walking might burn a couple of calories.
You may not witness bullying like this every day. Your kids do. They want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov to learn safe, simple ways your child can help stop bullying. Be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
When it comes to prescription medications, it's essential to apply safe practices to protect your health and safety. To avoid misuse and abuse, never share or borrow medication. Keep your prescriptions out of the wrong hands by storing them in a lockbox and disposing of medication properly. Finally, understand your prescription information. Don't be afraid to ask your pharmacist and doctor for help. And if buying prescriptions online, be sure to use VIP's accredited pharmacies. Learn more at awarerx.org, a public service from the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy Foundation.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home.
Hold on, Glenn asked me earlier. You know, I was on air. He says, "Did you print that shirt?" Yes, I did. I printed this shirt. I printed this a while ago. As you can tell, it's still got the 101.5 on there. I don't even know if y'all can see that. It's got the 101.5. So I'm gonna have to print me up some new gear. Without the 101.5 on there. Oh, I didn't know the closed captioning was on. I'm gonna have to maybe go in and see if I can do something about that. Brent says, how can we order Buzz merch? I don't know. Yeah, I can't sell Buzz merch. And I had to make my own Buzz merch. All the Buzz merch that you see with me on, except for like the old stuff, I made myself. D. Joseph said, can we do a show on e-bikes? Because I know a lot about that topic. On Fridays, when I do the weekend review, you can call in and you can give us all the latest on e-bikes. .24 after. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Let me read this story. There was a bill in Illinois that would have made it so that unvaccinated people had to pay all of their COVID-19 expenses. Like all of their COVID-19 expenses. Like even if you got insurance. And I'm not exactly sure how they would have made that work. But even if you, like, I have insurance. I'm not vaccinated. If something happened and I got sick and I needed to go to the hospital, I couldn't turn in an insurance form to have the insurance pay the hospital. Maybe it would make it illegal for the hospital to accept my insurance payment. It would have made it illegal for the hospital to accept my insurance payment, thus putting all of the responsibility of paying my COVID-19 expenses on me because I'm not vaccinated. This was an actual bill proposed. It would have been HB 4259 in Illinois. Of course, doctors and the Board of Health and everybody was against it. Everybody was against it. The representative who was a Democrat, Jonathan Carroll, he finally withdrew it because he says he was getting violent threats. So sometimes the voice of the people is heard. But what? Look, I'll probably end up voting on the Democratic side of things. I can't see a Republican out there right now saying or doing anything that makes me look at them and say, you're a viable option. But I'll tell you what else is a viable option, Democrats. Sitting out. Sitting out. Stop doing stuff just to harm people. Now, of course, I'm not in Illinois. I can't vote for or against this guy. But I think some Democrats really got to start looking at some of the things that they're doing and how they might be turning some people off of them as a candidate and maybe the party. Again, I don't see a viable Republican option out there to vote for. I don't. But if there was a representative in Ohio that I voted for, if Cecil Thomas, which I know this isn't the whole thing is he's not running again, term limits. But if Cecil Thomas presented something like this in Ohio, I wouldn't be able to vote for him, Democrat or not. I want the party to start thinking about what they can do, not to drive a wedge between people, not to alienate people, but to draw more people in. to draw more people in. Because while I might not see a Republican I can vote for, I can still sit at home. All right. Just think about that, Democrats. 513-749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Cleveland, hold on just a moment. I was going to go to you, but I would have to cut you short. And, I don't want to do that, Cleveland. So hold on just a moment. I'll get to you. And surprise, surprise, Mr. Wells is on the line to give the Republican rebuttal. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
All the news and information you need is just a click away.
Sitting at home does what? Well, no one gets my non-vote. I don't buy into the vote. If you don't vote for him, it's a vote for him. I don't buy into that. You could win, Mr. Democrat, if you could get my vote. So stop trying to do things to alienate me so that you can't get my vote. Telling black youth that whites in the burbs are soft on crime is a lie. We need to stop lying to these kids. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. Purple Pros. It's not a lie. Again, I'm telling you from real world experience what I saw repeatedly. I saw police called for things that black kids would have gone to juvenile for. And the police chose to not do that. I saw things that happened in Avondale. Things that happened in Avondale happened in Fairfield. The Avondale kid got arrested. The Fairfield kid went home and got a stern talking to. So, come on. I'm just telling the truth, Purple Pros. You just don't like the truth. You just don't like the truth. Glenn says, so you're in your feelings about someone from another state. Where can I find the story? Where did I pull this story from? And I typically put the news source on here, but I don't have the news source on here. But I'll hold it up and then you can just Google the headline. So yeah, you can just Google the headline. And then he says, glad you're voting in Ohio. But it's not just that story. There are Democrats who are doing things all around the country that aren't necessarily the best. And I'm still waiting on some of these promises to come to fruition. And I know that there's a legit, earnest effort to make it happen, but I need it to happen. I need it to happen. Kenny Smith said, Indian Hill kids can print money and nothing happens. Try that stuff in Over the Rhine. Jerica says, let's not forget about the kid who got off for affluenza. Glenn says, so your Democrat here in Ohio is doing that. Nuance is hard. Nuance is hard. And that isn't even very nuanced. Let me answer your question with a question, which I very rarely ever do. Did I say that the Democrat in Ohio was doing that? Because I don't even understand the point of the question. And then Blackwood Fish says, why ain't all the black kids in Fairfield locked up? I said the white kids get leeway. I didn't say all the black kids are committing crime. "25 minutes to the top of the hour. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock. We got about 25 minutes left. 513-749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Someone online said, telling black youth that whites in the burbs are soft on crime is a lie. We need to stop lying to these kids. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It happens. We know it happens. We know it happens. Happens all the time. And then Black Wolffish says that why ain't all the black kids in Fairfield locked up? They're not committing crimes. But if they were, they would be. Let me go to the phone. Cleveland.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. And you?
Pretty good. First, would you agree that anybody that could cold-bloodedly take another life, something's wrong with them?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay.
But hold on. I need you to do two things for me.
Okay.
I need you to speak up with a little more energy, and I need you to kind of hurry up because your phone sounds horrible.
Okay, I will hurry up, but I'm relaxing, man. So I'm chilling. I'm not.
Well,
like
de-relax.
So, but anyway, yeah, anybody that can cold-bloodedly take a person's life and kind of like not think anything about it, yeah, something's wrong with you. Like the McMichaels. You know, I was kind of listening to, I didn't look at the video or anything, but listening to the description of how they shot him and then called him the N-word after they shot him 3 times. That's sick. So, but the teenagers that took the life, black, white, it doesn't matter, but particularly of a baby or children. I mean, every time I hear something like that, yeah, it's enough to make you want to cry.
Yes.
It is. So, but one thing that I've said before, there was a time that we as a culture didn't do certain things. So, yeah, simply because that white teenager got off, I guess, with the courts, and just because her people were sympathetic, doesn't mean that we should also hold the same, I guess, sympathy.
Yeah, we don't necessarily have to be sympathetic because they're sympathetic. All right? What's the next point?
No. What I'm saying is...
come on, I really do need you to make it real quick because your phone is horrible.
Okay, well, we be sympathetic, Emmanuel, in the sense that understanding that to take a baby's life, to take a child's life, anybody's life, to harm a child, you know, something's wrong with you. But should you be prosecuted, condemned, and go to jail? Yeah. So we have assimilated, and that's what I've said a lot of times. We've assimilated with their culture, and that's been a big problem.
That's been a problem. All right. I appreciate your call.
Yeah, anytime.
All right. 513-749-1230. I apologize, Cleveland. If you call in with a phone that doesn't sound that horrible, I'll give you more time to get your points out. And I might even, do a little back and forth with you, but that was just horrible.
I'm not even sure what kind of phone would produce that kind of sound. Because they can't, if there's no possible way that they still make cell phones that, like, have that kind of interference. Like, we're literally in 2022. It's got to be a cheap phone out there that don't make that noise.
He got one of them old brick, not even the little brick, like the Nokia brick. One of the old legit car phone that was big and long, and you held it like that, and yeah. That was,
We need to start a
horrible.
GoFundMe for Cleveland.
No, we don't.
We do.
Listen, you ever heard Cleveland? Cleveland is a mental health professional. He's I think he plays in the NBA. He's like a bodybuilder. He does like 2,000 push-ups every morning on like one finger. Cleveland got it all together. That brother can buy a phone. He just needs to focus on it and believe it's important. Mr. Wells.
Mr. Livingston. Hey, look, I desired to respond because earlier today, this gentleman from South. Do you know Jay Wright? Do you know that guy?
Do I know? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know.
Okay, keep it 100. Either you do or you don't. He says he chuckled with you, but I don't mind anybody commenting about even my phone calls because that's discourse. We're going to agree, we're going to disagree, whatever. But my stuff is always for consumption. Now, I posted on your page, and this is relative to something I said yesterday, connecting to you today about leadership. You say you don't see any Republican, and I'm not a Republican. I voted for Trump last time around, voted for Joe, gave Joe some money, and the guy that ran against Alicia, Andrew, forget his name, gave him some money. And I think I voted for another Republican.
Wait. You said you voted for Trump. You said you voted for Joe. Joe who?
Joe Dieters. When we say Joe Dieters.
So you're a Republican.
No, I voted Republican in that cycle, and I identify with them because I've dealt with.
Bro, you're a Republican. Just like you asked me that I know Jay Wright, and you said keep it 100. Keep it 100. You're a Republican. You got a right to be a Republican.
He said
you're a Republican.
Stop it.
You are.
He said he chuckled and he wanted to have some issue, or he doesn't think he's all that smart. Anything that I say, Kurt Anthony, CURT. ANTHON. Most of it's posted on my Facebook page. Now, I'm saying this for a reason. We're going to have the discourse, transparency. Benny Thompson, his district, he's been there since 1993, Mississippi District 2. Jackson, Mississippi is in his district, has the highest per capita, and I posted it on your page. This is Jackson's rate of killings per capita ranks highest in the USA. That's current as of last year.
Okay.
He's been taking the political low road of running this January 6th incident last year into the ground for political purposes and not attending to the needs of his district.
And you don't seem to have a problem with what happened on January 6th. As a matter of fact, you don't believe that it was an insurrection.
Hold on a second. Maxine Waters. Terry Sewell's district is the one.
And you don't.
Let me finish, Emanuel.
Because you're bringing all of this up, and it means nothing. You're not bringing it up to actually say anything.
You talked about leadership. You said, wait a minute. You said leadership.
You're not bringing it up to say anything.
Excuse me?
You're not bringing it up to say anything.
Emanuel, wait a minute, Emanuel. You don't think the people in those districts deserve to have their needs met as opposed to being race baiters or talking about the voting rights?
Hold on, how is it race baiting to say that what happened on January 6th should not have happened on January 6th? Tell me how that's race baiting.
Because you all add a racist component to about these people being Republicans, they're being
hold on, stop. When did Republican become a race?
I said race baiters.
Right. And I said, how is it race baiting? And your answer was, because y'all keep talking about these people being Republican. How is that race baiting?
Well, this thing about the anti-Trumpers being white, and then the anti-Trumpers being African Americans. The people who are pro-Trump are these racist white people. David Duke. Come on, you know.
Wait, hold on, Mr. Wells. Did David Duke support Donald Trump?
I don't know.
But the answer is yes. Is he a racist? Well, I'm telling you, I posted it on my Facebook page. I didn't
see his voting record. I didn't see the campaign donation.
Is he a racist white man?
You had dinner with him at your house one time, right?
No.
Okay, well, you don't know he voted for Trump or gave him money.
Is he a racist white man?
About as much as you are.
All right. See, when you just come on, man. Come on, man. You can't talk about we need to have honest discourse, and then you can't answer some simple questions. Simple questions. David Duke supported Donald Trump. He's a racist. But still, the point that you were attempting to make is that it is somehow racist and race baiting to say that what happened on January 6th should not have happened on January 6th. How is it race baiting? Because y'all keep saying it's Republicans. Okay, again, how is that race baiting? Because the last I checked, Republican wasn't a race. And then you won't admit you're a Republican. And, you know, a horrible example of a Republican, like you get the talking points wrong. Like you botch the talking points every day. And do you really think that there's anybody who listens between noon and 3 who has heard you speak that don't know, number one, you're a Republican. Number two, you're a shield for Donald Trump. And number three, the only reason you call in is to defend Donald Trump and the Republicans. Everybody knows you can't fool any of us with that. I'm not a Republican. I just vote for Republicans, and anytime somebody says something about Republicans, I call in to rebut them. And anytime somebody says something good about Democrats, I call in to rebut that. But I'm not a Republican. I just vote for them and give them money and defend them every time I get a chance. You couldn't even answer, is David Duke, the dude who was, what was he, the Grand Wizard, Grand Dragon, Grand something or another for the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. You couldn't even answer, yeah, he's a racist. As big of a racist as you are, come on.
As ridiculous as Mr. Wells attempts to be, I want to know. Like, at some point, can somebody, or you, when he calls in, just ask him, what happened in the last 10 years? Because this is my first encounter with Mr. Wells. Hearing him talk about how much he loves Trump. 10 years ago, I wasn't here. I had no idea who he was. But according to everybody who has listened to the show for the past 10 years, has been familiar with the buzz for the last 10 years, he was very pro-black and for the people. I just want to know what happened. How do you go from one side of the spectrum to the complete opposite? I would love to know.
Let me get a break in here. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
Get ready for the Urban 100.
And he really does act like if he posted something on his Facebook page, that makes it a fact. He says things that are factually inaccurate, and you say that's not true. Yeah, I posted it on my Facebook page, so there you go. Like, what? What does that mean? And I'm sorry, I saw where Shahira said that Cleveland's phone didn't sound bad to her. What in the heck were you listening to? What kind of, are you listening on something that's filled with horrible, horrible, horrible static? So everything sounds horrible? Because Cleveland's phone sounded awful. Somebody say he started dating Shelly. He does not date Shelly. D. Joseph wants to know, can we end the show on something uplifting, please? Sure, call in, 513-749-1230. Tell us something uplifting. You said it didn't sound bad. Oh, you didn't say that it didn't sound bad. You said it didn't sound that bad. The Powerball is $575 million. Most melanated folk turn when they come up. I'm not sure what that means. Is it Kimma? I've not heard from Jimmy the Vet or Mr. Mims. I'm getting a little concerned. You know, I mean, he's up there in age. Anything could have happened. He might not be with us anymore. And we just not know about it. I hope he is. But I'm beginning to be concerned about Mr. Mims as well. I wouldn't even know where to do a wellness check. I don't know Mr. Mims like that. I ain't got his phone number or nothing. We fell out when he gave me that $5. I still blame Doris for that. Yeah, that was when he stopped liking me altogether. He just decided, I hate this dude after he gave me that $5. Okay. Raven stated the guy was for us melanated people. Now he seems not to be. He may have gotten his cash up. Okay. He gave me $5 for my birthday. I can't remember how old I was, but he came in and he gave me $5 for my birthday. And he has not liked me ever since that day. Eight minutes till the top of the hour. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. 513-749-1230. The people on the Facebook and the YouTube and the Twitch and the Twitter page, from time to time, they make me laugh. And they're saying things that's funny. The Great Resignation. That's what they're calling it now. That's what they're calling it. Apparently, Americans quit their jobs at a record pace in November. Yeah. The number of workers quitting jobs vaulted to 4.6 million from about 4.2 million. So, yeah. That means 3% of workers voluntarily left their position. 3% of workers voluntarily left their position. And you know what it's all about. And it might should happen a little bit more, even though they're saying that this economy is going to turn around real fast. They're saying coming up real soon, the tables are going to be turned. But yeah, people feel like they're in a position now where if the money ain't right, if the work ain't right, if the attitude ain't right, if the respect ain't there, they can leave and find something else on par with or better than what they have right now. And I like that kind of worker empowerment. I like that. Look, if you want my services, cool. Pay me what I feel like I deserve. Treat me like I want to be treated. And make the work reasonable. I like that. I don't think that's too much to ask either. I don't think that's too much to ask. I think employers for too long have felt like it's okay to just treat people any kind of way. Do anything and pay them a little bit of money with the threat of, I'll fire you. Well, if you ain't paying me no money nowadays, that don't hold no weight. Oh, you're going to fire me from this job. If I go to any other job, I'm going to probably make more money than I make here anyway. So what are you holding over my head again? You don't want to offer me no benefits. A lot of jobs don't. But I think a lot of times it's more about respect. It's more about respect. If I go to a job that I love, but my supervisors and the people who run the company, if it's not my own company, the people who run the company don't treat me with respect, why am I there? Especially if it's a job that I don't like. A lot of people suffer through jobs that they absolutely hate for money that is nowhere near what they feel like they deserve and get treated like crap. And people have suffered through those jobs for years and years and years and years. And employers just are comfortable with the fact that I got the job, I got the money, you got to come to me, I can treat you how I want to treat you, and if you don't like this money, I'd fire you. And now employees are saying, you know what? I quit. But wait a minute. There's a worker shortage. Restaurants shutting down. Because that's really where the most disrespect that I've ever felt in any job was when I worked at restaurants.
Facts.
They, for whatever reason, the employers that I worked for in the restaurant industry showed no respect to the workers. None. Talk to you any kind of way, treat you any kind of way, don't want to pay you.
They want you to work a whole bunch of hours that you never signed up for. Specific hours that you told them I cannot work. Yeah, if you want to stay employed here, you're going to have to come work these hours.
Right, threaten to fire you. And you're like, why did you agree to hire me when I told you what I couldn't do? Well, this is what we need. Well, employees now are saying, all right, I'm out. Peace. Some businesses are having to shut down. I see a lot of restaurants just completely shutting down. There's a restaurant that I go to. And like their hours are the craziest hours now. I don't go there anymore because they always got to sign up talking about we had to close early because we don't have any employees. And I'm like, what?
There's a couple places like that around the city right now.
What do you mean? It is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. What you mean you had to close early? Because you ain't got no employees. I pull up to the drive-thru, ordering something I ain't got no business eating. And they like, we closed. You what? We pull up to the window and the manager is in there like, I'm the only one here. I had to shut the restaurant down. How much are you paying people? we still paying minimum wage. That's why you ain't got no employees. But yeah, the great resignation. Tell y'all better find y'all spot now. If you are out there looking for work, find your spot now, because this situation ain't gonna last forever, where you can just kind of shop yourself around and find the situation that where just like that, where everybody just hiring. Find your spot. Get in there and settle in. Get in there and settle in. So when things cool off, hopefully you in there. Everybody who called, everybody who listened, I appreciate you. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. Raven, as always, thank you for everything that you do over there. Thank you very much. And to the people watching, thank you. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you as well. Al Sharpton is up next. You know what? I'm thinking about starting to call myself the man of power. Until next time, I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
12:30 a.m. WDBC, Cincinnati, an Urban One station. We
are. I'm the man of power until Lee can get rid of the coronavirus. Oh, he would have a cow. If I was to legit call myself the man of power, he would have a cow. Or as they say on Talladega Nights, he would shit a chicken. It's just funny thinking about it. It is just funny thinking about it. Oh, boy. It shouldn't be that funny. I wouldn't be surprised if I get a text message about it. Oh. Jenna said maybe Mr. Mims got tired of me calling him a liar. I never call that man a liar unless he's lying. I never called that man a liar unless he was lying. Not even one time. Yeah, go ahead, Richard. Tell Lincoln. I don't care. I don't care about you telling Lincoln. He gonna come over here without that mask on. And I'm going to slap the fire out of it. He gave me permission today. And everybody heard it. Everybody heard it. That was not Dave Stinger today when he said to slap him if I see him without a mask on. That was Emanuel Livingston. He gave me permission to slap the fire out of him. And I've been watching ever since then. Ever since then, I went on YouTube and I've been watching them slapping contests. They got different stretches and stuff that they do. Oh, let me see that man without a mask. And then he tried to qualify it. I'm talking about if I'm in a crowd. Like, what do you mean in a crowd? You know that'd make it even worse. Can you just imagine Lincoln going out somewhere in a crowd of people, and out of nowhere, I come up.
I predict in the near future,
and I come up out of nowhere. Wham! And I slap, because when you slap, it's like Rick James. You got to slap and bring it down. And I wham! and I slap the fire out of Lincoln in a crowd full of people, and then be like, wear your mask. Oh my God, that's a fight. That is a fight every day of the week. And what I'm gonna say, you told me I could do it. He gonna be trying to swing. Oh my God. He gonna be trying to swing on me. And I'm gonna be, Lincoln, you told me to do it. Lincoln, you told me to do it. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I'm prepared. Come down with it. Come down with it. Oh boy. Woo. Would I really do it? He told me to do it. He told me to do it. He told me to do it. That's right. Thank you, William. Thank you, William. That's what I'm going to do. That's the way I'm going to do it. He going to be walking in my head. That's how he walks everywhere. He going to be walking through a crowd of people, shaking everybody's hand. It's going to be white people, so he going to be shaking their hands. He don't shake black people's hands, but he shake white people's hands. And he going to be shaking their hands. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? And I'm going to come up to him, and I'm going to be like, fist bump. Hey, Lincoln, I got a quick question for you. What? What did the 5 fingers... What did the 5 fingers say to the face? Oh, what? What? Because y'all know he never watched Chappelle's show. He never watched Chappelle's show. So he's going to have no idea what that means. Zero idea. So, hey, Link, fist bump. Don't shake my hand, fist bump. He gonna go to walk away. He go to walk away. Say, hey, Lincoln, real quick. What? Because he gonna be frustrated because he want to get back to shaking the white people's hand. What? What did the 5 fingers say to the face? What? I don't even know what that means. What did the 5 fingers say to the face? What? What did the 5 fingers say to the face? Wow! And bring it down. Ah! No, ma'am.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
I look forward to making cousins.
Oh, he gonna be mad as hell. I was saying, you asked me to do it. You asked me to do it. He gonna be so mad, he ain't gonna even hear me. Oh boy. That is funny to think about. Because it's true. Oh my goodness. I'm telling y'all, let me see that man walking around without a mask on. I need to pull that tape. I would literally put it on a tape. I still got some old cassettes. I got the tape. D. Joseph said, you would hit a 70-year-old man? I slap the shit out of him. Yes, I would. And bring it down. Bam! You got to bring it down. Yes, I would. Oh, boy. Y'all, I got to run. I can't hang with y'all long today. I got a very important meeting at 4 o'clock, and I have some stuff that I have to do before the meeting. to be ready for the meeting. But I do appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I do. All right, let me see. I guess that's about it. Yeah, I got to get out of here. I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. And until next time, it's been an afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm out, y'all. Peace.